The centenarian decathlon. Imagine living to 100, not just surviving, but thriving with vitality, independence, and joy. Dr. Peter Attia coined the term centenarian decathlon to describe the activities you want to enjoy at 100 years old. Picture yourself hiking through a national park, exploring foreign lands, hoisting your luggage into an airplane's overhead compartment, or playfully lifting your great-great-grandchild into the air. These dreams all have one thing in common. They require strong, healthy muscles. Muscle health is the foundation of overall health, and when our muscles weaken, our health often follows. In today's world, maintaining muscle is a challenge, but it's one we can overcome with the right approach. Let's embark on a journey to age strong, live well, and make every year a blessing. The modern lifestyle challenge. Our modern world isn't designed to keep us strong. Most Americans sit for 90% of their waking hours, whether at desks, in cars, or on couches. Even those who carve out time for morning exercise may fall into the trap of being active couch potatoes, sitting for hours after their workout. Studies show that prolonged sitting significantly increases the risk of chronic, preventable conditions like heart disease, diabetes, and more. If you exercise for an hour a day, but sit for the rest, you're not doing enough to protect your muscle health. Couch potatoes, active or not, don't have much use for muscle, and that's a problem. The aging population and sarcopenia. We're living longer, but are we living better? By 2050, for the first time in history, there will be more people over 65 than under 15. Yet, a staggering 92% of those over 65 suffer from at least one chronic disease. Think diabetes, heart disease, cancer, or Alzheimer's. But there's a silent epidemic that often goes unmentioned. Sarcopenia, or the loss of muscle mass and strength. Sarcopenia, meaning poverty of flesh, is what I call a poverty of strength. It starts as early as our 30s, and by age 80, the average person has 40% less muscle mass than they did at 30. Even more alarming, we lose strength 2 to 3 times faster than muscle mass because we lose type 2, fast twitch, muscle fibers more rapidly than type 1, slow twitch fibers. These type 2 fibers are critical for everyday tasks like getting up from the floor, carrying groceries, or lifting grandkids overhead. Without them, staying active and healthy becomes a struggle. The science of muscle and longevity. The evidence is clear. Muscle mass matters. A fascinating Chilean study followed 1,400 men and women over 70, dividing them into quartiles based on muscle mass. After 12 years, 50% of those in the lowest muscle mass quartile had passed away, compared to only 20% in the highest quartile, meaning 80% of those with the most muscle were still alive. Another hallmark study on grip strength found that for every 11-pound decrease in grip strength, your risk of death from any cause rises by 16%. The same researchers discovered that within 10 years, those in the lowest muscle mass quartile were 6 times more likely to report a lower quality of life. We've all seen loved ones spend their final years bedbound or immobile. That's not the life we want. The goal isn't just a longer lifespan, it's a longer health span, where we live vibrantly until the very end. Lifespan versus health span. Let's unpack the difference between lifespan and health span. Without intervention, our health declines steadily as we age. Medicine 2.0, pills and life-saving surgeries, extends lifespan, but often leaves us bedbound, medicated and unwell in our final years. Medicine 3.0, on the other hand, focuses on prevention, wellness, and holistic care. It's about doing the work up front to stay healthy for as long as possible, then experiencing a sharp decline at the end of life. In other words, live long, drop dead. Strength training and proper nutrition are the cornerstones of Medicine 3.0, empowering us to maintain our vitality and independence. What causes muscle loss? Muscle loss happens shockingly fast. Take a healthy 20-year-old male who walks 10,000 steps a day. If he cuts back to 2,000 steps, say, by driving instead of walking or taking the elevator instead of stairs, he'll lose 5% of his muscle mass in just 2 weeks. For an elderly person, the stakes are even higher. 10 days of bed rest can strip away 10% of muscle mass. That's equivalent to a decade of natural aging in just weeks. But here's the good news. Muscle loss isn't inevitable, and it can be reversed. Muscle maintenance and growth. Let's look at the evidence. Imagine a cross-section of a thigh. A 40-year-old athlete's thigh is mostly muscle, with minimal fat and a strong bone in the center. Compare that to a 74-year-old sedentary person whose thigh is marbled with fat, resembling a sedentary cow's muscle. But here is the kicker. A 74-year-old athlete, S thigh, looks nearly identical to the 40-year-old S. Age doesn't have to dictate muscle health. Even if you haven't been active your whole life, you can build strength. A study of 84-year-olds who strength trained their legs for 12 weeks saw their strength increase by 50% and muscle mass by 40%. Yes, you can teach an old dog new tricks, and those tricks can transform your life. 2 golden rules for aging strong. Through my doctoral work and decades as a trainer and physical therapist, I've distilled 2 golden rules for aging strong. Follow these and you'll be well on your way to a vibrant, healthy life. Golden rule 1. Get 100 grams of protein per day. Protein is the building block of muscle, yet 40% of women over 65 get the recommended amount. And the standard recommendation, golden rule 2, strength train 3 times a week. Walking is great. It's better than nothing and can help maintain muscle mass to an extent. But to maximize your longevity and build a strong, healthy body, you need strength training with weights. Exercise is about stress. You challenge your body, it breaks down, and then it rebuilds stronger. This is called the supercompensation theory. After a workout, your strength dips temporarily, but within 24 to 48 hours, your body recovers and surpasses its previous strength level. Time your next workout to capitalize on this peak, and you'll keep getting stronger. Too little stress, and you won't see gains. Too much, and you'll break down without recovering. 3 strength training sessions a week strike the perfect balance for most people, offering significant benefits without diminishing returns. Machines versus free weights. When it comes to strength training, should you use machines or free weights? Both build strength, but they're not equal. Machines are like bowling with guardrails. You can't go too wrong, but they isolate individual muscles. Free weights, barbells, dumbbells, kettlebells, are like bowling without guardrails. They force your feet, knees, hips, and core to work together synergistically, mimicking real-life movements like catching your balance or lifting something overhead. Think of your body as an orchestra. A trumpet player might sound great practicing alone, but if they never rehearse with the group, the performance suffers. Free weights train your body to move as a cohesive unit, preparing you for life's challenges. I call this strength training. Others might call it functional training. Either way, it's how we were designed to move. How often should you strength train? Research shows that more frequent strength training, 3, 4, or even 5 times a week, is better. But 3 sessions offer the sweet spot for most people. It's enough to drive progress without overwhelming your schedule or body. My approach at Village Fitness is built on 12 core movements we call the Village Movement Standards, designed to ensure strength, balance, mobility, and endurance. While all 12 are important, I'll focus on the big 3, the most essential exercises for building strength. The big 3 exercises. These 3 movements target your body's largest muscles, setting the foundation for a strong, capable body. Squat works your quads, hamstrings, glutes, and core. Start with a bodyweight squat, aiming for full depth, knees bent, hips low. Use a doorpost, squat rack, or TRX for support if needed. Progress to a kettlebell goblet squat, working up to 35 pounds with full depth. Once ready, move to a barbell back squat, placing the bar across your upper back for heavier loads. Deadlift targets hamstrings, glutes, and core. Begin with a bodyweight hinge, pushing your hips back toward the wall. Progress to a kettlebell deadlift, lifting from the ground, elevate on a 6-inch box if needed. Eventually, move to a barbell deadlift for greater resistance. Overhead press engages deltoids, pectorals, and core. If shoulder mobility is limited, start with an incline chest press. Progress to dumbbells, 10 pounds per side, then a 15-pound training bar. Once you can press 45 pounds, move to a standard barbell, your workout plan. Here's a simple, effective plan to get you started, designed for 3 days a week. Daily, walk 30-60 minutes, ideally before your workout to warm up, but any time works. Dynamic warm-up before each session, 10 calf raises, hold on to something for balance if needed. 10 knee-to-chest pulls per side, or march in place if mobility is limited. 10 heel-to-butt kicks per side, pull your knee if possible. 10 foot-to-opposite hip pulls per side. 10 torso twists per side. Arm circles, 10 forward, 10 backward. Face hug, a gentle, fun movement to loosen up. Strength training, 3 days a week. Perform squats, deadlifts, and overhead presses in each session. Start with bodyweight or light weights, focusing on form and full range of motion. Do 3 sets of 3 to 5 reps for each exercise, adjusting weight to feel challenging but achievable. Keys to safe strength training. To train safely and effectively, follow these 3 principles. Choose the right exercises. The squat, deadlift, and overhead press are your foundation. Start at the right level. Begin with body weight or the lightest weight you feel confident with. Build a strong base before adding resistance. Progress. Appropriately, embrace progressive overload, the principle illustrated by the story of Milo of Croton. Legend has it that Milo, a Greek wrestler, carried a small calf up a hill every day. As the calf grew into a bull, Milo grew stronger too. Whether true or not, this story perfectly captures how to build strength. Add weight gradually over time. For example, if you deadlift 65 pounds for 3 sets of 3 with good form, no pain, and full range of motion, increase to 70 pounds next time, then 75 pounds the next. Small increments allow months of progress without plateaus. Too often, we wait for a doctor to tell us exercise is a matter of life and death before we act. By then, the journey is much harder. The best time to start was 20 years ago, but the second best time is today. Even if you start small, bodyweight squats, a short walk, a few extra grams of protein, you're making a profound impact. At Village Fitness, we've seen thousands of clients transform their lives with this approach. You can too. Take back your health, build your strength, and make every year a blessing. Start now, and let's age strong together.